Hi, all. This is Stephanie with Energy Aligns. This is my Thursday Tarot Insight. So, welcome, and I'm hoping that you all are doing well out there. It's kind of a wild week. It's been some crazy few weeks, and so here we are. We're here at a point where, we have the Christmas celebrations, the holiday celebrations, and in the middle of it, we still are evolving and growing as a collective. So it's important that we tapped in today to look at where we are as a collective. And I'm going to show you the card I pulled. So I use the tarot to harness and highlight the energy of the collective. So we can do this as for an individual, for the collective. We can ask specific questions. So I ask for a card that will show me the energy of the collective right now. And then I talk about it with you, and I talk about the tarot, and I also talk about how you as an individual can harness that energy that we're seeing in the bigger picture and use it in your individual lives to kind of create more awareness, create more energetic awareness, create more awareness as we grow and evolve here. So today we pulled the Nine of Fire, Eye of Fire. And last week we pulled another spirit card. I'm just trying to get it into focus for you. So Nine of Fire. So fire in this deck represents the spirit. And here we are at the 9. So we do the cycle 1 through 10 in these minor arcana cards, as I've mentioned before in many of my tarot insights. And when we're at the 9, we're almost at the culmination of the cycle. And this is like a reward card. It's kind of a signifier that, hey, you've been doing so much work, you've been evolving, you've been growing, you've been changing, you're on this trajectory of a lesson or a whole idea that's running through your system. And here you are at 9 showing you, yes, you've said yes to this, and here's why, and here's the evidence of it. So here we are at the 9 with this card, Eye of Fire. And as you can see, like I read last time in the other spirit card, we have access to so much information now. So I'll say it again. We have access to so much information. So the issue now for us as a collective is we don't know how, or we haven't learned how to harness it. And by information, I mean information from the spirit world, like all the realms we cannot see, that information is more and more important, we saw last week, than the information from our bodies and our emotions that we've learned really well how to work with and manage and understand. But here we have in the spirit world all the things we can't see. This is most of the information that's accessible to us, and now here it is, all accessible. Our awareness is opened up to it. And so why it's hard to harness it is because we haven't been taught to, right? We have had ideas on how to do this, right? Like you could read spirituality books, you can read philosophy, and we kind of think with our mind that we know. And so we are trying, and we've tried hard, but now it's like what this card is saying is that, hey, you have access to all this information. You don't really need to study and go back in time to learn how to access it. It's here for you to access. It's not that it's hard for us to access. It's just that it's a huge shift, collectively, that we are in from being told how to do something, how to access information, how to be spiritual, how to be religious, etc., and kind of being told how it is, how the world is, how to do things, etc. Also being told ideas are really creations with our minds. So the collective ideas or programs we've been trained to believe, or we just believe because everyone's as a collective has been in agreement for so long on certain ideas and programs that we run as a society, as a world. And so ideas being like, oh, that's just the way it is, we don't question. But now here we are, as a collective, we're starting to question literally everything. So now we're really in a time of shifting gears. Okay, so we're shifting gears to, one, not think only with our minds, to not just think with here, but to be able to think with all of our senses. And that means our extra senses, like our clairvoyance, our clairaudience, our psychic senses, our hearing, our feeling, our touching, etc. But also these extra senses that we have a little bit more easy access to these days, because look at all the information coming right in. You see it coming down and in. This is like, okay, it's just a kind of a glorious accessibility that's happening right now. So also we're being able to really access information with our whole bodies, right? Our whole bodies and our whole energetic bodies as well. And so number 2 is gaining our own information as individuals first, and then moving from there. So that's accessing our own information and then making our information make sense out in the world. So it's not that our information is always different from everybody else's, but it's kind of, there's so much available to us. What it's saying is like, here you go. You decide, right? You start deciding. You get access to all this information. And what do you think about it? How do you feel about it? Are you going to take it all in? No, of course not. It's too much for everybody just to take in individually, but it's there for you. So you get to decide what to do, if you want to access it and how, and if and when you do, what you're going to take away as truth for yourself, right? What your ideas are going to be like. So all the information comes down and how you hold on to and what you hold on to as ideas, because ideas become beliefs, and then those beliefs become a new world, a new collective, all the new ways, right? So what are some of the things we're accessing? We're accessing truth. We're accessing divine truth. We're accessing love. What else did I write down here? We're accessing the fact that there is more. There is way more, and you can see it in this card, right? It's all of this. Like here we are down here on the physical, all these craggy, mountainous, earthy parts, and then we have access to everything up here. There's a lot. There's a lot. And so when it comes down and in, like these craggy the parts, it will be edgy and craggy for a while, as we, as a collective, learn to distill. Right? Distill and discern all the more information that I've been talking about in the last couple weeks. All of this, we have to bring it down and distill and discern. You get to do that. We as individuals get to do that. We do it as a collective, but it starts with you. So recognize that. Validate it. Say, I have access to this information. I get to choose. I get to listen. I get to discern. I get to distill. I get to embody this information that I have access to. That's your power, and that's so powerful. And as soon as every single person can kind of just have awareness around that, they're empowering themselves. And then us as a collective really become empowered with new ways. And it changes the world. It will change the world. Yay for us, the spiritual information. Yay for all the access that we have. Yay. This card is a celebration of this big, long cycle we've been in. So the thing to remember is this. In this card, what it's really showing is that we are not separate, and we are a part of it. They're both one and the same. It's not either or. It's not together and separate. It's not like we're not separate, we're all one. It's whole. It's just whole, right? And that's different from saying we're a part of something. We are a part, but we can't, the whole isn't the whole without us. And we are integral. Each and every one of us is integral in this collective wholeness. It just is. And it is, we as humans have been trained to have our minds see things in dichotomies. That's just how we make sense of the world. But this spirit card, the 9 of fire here, what it's saying is that there is no separateness. And yet here we are as individuals, and it's kind of like a mind F, like you can't quite figure it out, because you can't figure it out with your mind. It is a spiritual truth. We are a whole. And yet here we are talking as one person to all of you, right? So it's a little bit tricky, and it's tricky only because we try to understand it with our mind. More information is being offered now, and we have access to literally all of it. So, and the other truth of this is it's not just outside of us coming in. So that's the whole idea of like wholeness. It just is. It's not that we're like, okay, here we are, we have access. It's all, can you see my hand? It's all up here. It's all up here. It's all up here. Let it come in. That's not really, even though it's showing that in this card visually, it's not really how it works, right? We're not just like opening this doorway and it's just all flooding in, although that's what it feels like, and that's the best way to describe it. We are part of it, right? We are it. It is inside of us. It's like a remembering. It's like opening up all the portals that you see up here inside of us, inside of our bodies, inside of our flesh, inside of the energetics of our cells. So it's tricky again when we try to understand it with our mind, because it's not just like, okay, oh, we have information coming streaming in, although it does seem like that. We are a part of it. We're just opening up. Our awareness has expanded. So it's like being shaken awake. Here we are. We're shaken awake, and we have access to what we couldn't see, hear, feel, know before. A good way to say is it's inside of us, it's outside of us, it is just all that is. Let's talk about how we can, how you, how we, how I, how every single individual, one of us, can access this information. Nine of Fire can say, okay, here we are. So having really some kind of divine practice is how you access this. So it could be saying what you're grateful for every day. It could be writing a list of gratitude. It could be saying prayers, saying a prayer, lighting a candle. It could be just quieting down. Okay, so the information is just right now is coming in fast, and it's coming in with not a lot of effort. You know, this is just a really stereotype, but meditate in a cave for years and years and years to gain enlightenment. But really what's happening now is there's so much information available to us that it's and we're opening up so easily. So there's less effort required to create your awareness around the connection that you have to all that is inside of you, outside of you, to have awareness that we're a part of this whole. So having a practice to connect yourself with the divinity of life, right? That could be, you know, spending time in nature. It could be writing in your journal. It could be putting that lovely oil on your body after you get out of the shower. And it's up to you. The one thing that's kind of required for it is just quiet. And I will say intention. So when you have the intention that, okay, I'm just gonna spend this 5 minutes each day grounding, your intention is to connect with something else, right? Your intention may be to like, okay, I just want to feel better throughout the day. But right now what's happening is when we have the intention to connect with our own divinity, information is coming quickly and easily. So if you're into it, if you're interested, if you're watching this, you probably are. Having and adopting a regular and even small practice is the best way to tap into this energy of the Nine of Fire. So I'm super curious what card we're going to pull next week, because this is pretty climactic here, and really beautiful. And it's been a lot this past month in December. I know I personally have, I don't want to say struggled, but it's been hard. And I've had enough awareness around it to know it's hard, and to know that there's purpose and worth to it, and to deepen into it, and to slow down, and to pay attention. And it's not that I don't have to do anything because I still have to live my life, right? We all do. But there are moments that we can find where we can slow down and get quiet. And when it's getting really intense, that's when it's so much more important to open up your awareness around like what's really going on here. What's going on is just expansion of all of our realities, and it's cool. And I wish you all such a lovely holiday week, and I'll see you next week before the new year. I think it's Thursday is before the new year. If not, I'll see you after the new year, and I'm sending lots of love, deep awareness. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep finding those quiet moments. Reach out if you need any support, any meditations on my website, energyaligns.com. And I'm here to support you. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.